Right now, you are playing in Poland, but obviously you started your career a long time ago. It was in New York. Can you talk about your beginnings? How did it happen that you became a basketball player? How you fell in love in basketball?
I come from a place that heavy on basketball, Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York. We have people like Sebastian Telfair, Lance Stevenson, Stephonem Marburym. We're all from the same neighborhood. So I kind of just grew up into it, playing outside, playing with the other kids, and I liked it ever since.
Yeah, and many people maybe don't know, but during your, when you were a teen or young, you were quite a big prospect in the United States. When you, for example, Google something on YouTube, you can find Isaiah Whitehead is a real deal, or he's New York City next chosen one, for example. So it was big pressure on you at that time?
Not really. I don't think it was pressure. I think it was just me playing basketball, living in New York. New York is the biggest media state in the United States. So if they have a prospect, they big them up and they make sure they get some notoriety. So it wasn't really pressure. I just looked at it as I was getting what I deserved, and that was it.
Yeah, obviously many people, including you, thought that your career will go, let's say, a different path and you might be still playing in the NBA. But on the other hand, you are playing professional basketball, so do you feel successful?
Yeah, of course. My success was based on my family and how they live. My family lives great from what we begin with. So I think that was my biggest success, just how my family live day to day and how they, don't have to worry about anything for the rest of their life.
But in terms of basketball?
In terms of basketball, I think I'm successful. I played at every level, so that's all I can ask for. I got a chance in high school, in college, in NBA, and overseas. So it's been a lot of different places that I visited, different places that I played. So I think that's success. Yeah.
And do you feel somehow misunderstood? Because there's this, people think that you are, to be honest, bad guy, right? And even when you talk to people from Szczecin, they say that this is that kind of image we probably had before he came, and he's kind of different person. So do you think that people expect you to be this bad guy, but you are not? I always say, people, I don't even think people think I'm a bad guy. I think people just hear it from other people that I'm a bad guy. So if you meet me and you say I'm a bad guy, then you can think that. But if you listen to someone that dealt with me before, then you never had a real perspective of me. So I don't think I'm misunderstood anymore. I think anyone that gets around me thinks I'm not a bad guy. So I really don't care what people think that didn't get the chance to or try to even get to know me. So. But when did it start that people started talking, let's say, bad about you? When you were young and maybe you made some, let's say, one or two bad decisions, and then that sticks with you in people's imagination?
When did it start? Honestly, it started when I came to Europe. I think when I first came to Europe, I had really high-level coaches and demanding coaches, and I wasn't used to it. I was used to the America, where it was a players' league, and we're first, and what we think is first in America. So I think that's might be where it started. It wasn't never to where the point where it was they disliked me. I think it was more so they felt challenged just by me being on the team, because when I feel something, I'm gonna say it, basketball wise. So I think a lot of coaches are not used to that in Europe, and I learned that over the years. Just that if you feel the need to say something, just sit the coach aside and say it. But before, I would just say it in practice, or I would say it during the game, and they kind of felt challenged. So.
I see. And you started in Europe by playing for Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar. And I assume that was
kind of shock because you grew up in New York and you played in the NBA in this, let's say, you're even close to your neighborhood, and then you move to, let's say, Far East Russia, and this is completely different world, right? So that wasn't the best decision to choose this team for the start in Europe, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I think me leaving the NBA, I think it was more so I thought Europe about money instead of looking at the coach, the players, the city. I didn't really think of it like that.
Because you thought I can hoop, so
yeah, I could play basketball, so it does. I'm gonna be where I am. But like I said, Sasha was a very demanding coach. Like he was already established in Europe, as one of the good coaches. He just went to the Euro Cup championship the year or a couple years before I came there. So he wanted to win. So I didn't know the European game, so we kind of went back and forth, and I think that's when it started.
So what was the most surprising part, not about Europe, but by Poland, especially when you came here for the first time?
It's surprising. I mean, honestly.
Or after playing so many, let's say, European international leagues, nothing can surprise you.
Yeah, I think in Poland, I thought it would be much colder.
Really?
I thought so, but it's kind of similar to New York, so I'm good. So I thought it would be a lot colder.
Yeah. So you mentioned Stephonem Marburym, and I know that you are close. He's your godfather.
Godfather, yeah.
Yeah. How did it happen? Because he's kind of star, basketball, NBA star.
My mom and both our families are close, and I guess my mom, grew a good relationship with him, and ever since then, I've been able to call him, text him, see him when I need to. So he's always been there for me. So that's just how that went about. And we grew up in the same neighborhood, so he always was like a big brother to me, just for advice or anything like that. So
yeah, he's older than you, obviously. Maybe you could, if you was in touch, maybe you could bring him for the Polish League playoffs to attend some.
I'll try. I'll try.
I think he might be quite busy. Yeah. When I ask about what's surprising in Poland, there was this situation of you leaving Śląsk and moving to the King, which is one of the biggest opponents. Is it something that you couldn't? Of course, you didn't plan this, but it's surprising that these moves can happen, or you know how this market works and everything can happen on this market.
I wouldn't say surprising. I think King needed a guard. They needed a player, and I was available for no buyout, for no anything. So it was kind of easy to come into the team and try it out, because we were on a contract that in January that I can leave or they can terminate. So it was kind of like a test tryout. So I mean, it was a no-brainer. I was already in Poland. They were one of the top teams in Poland. So I just decided to come over.
When we are talking about the coaches, I wanted to ask you about the one coach you had in the NBA. It was Kenny Atkinson, right?
The NBA who?
Kenny Atkinson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he is now leading the NBA best team. So at the time, of course, Nets weren't as good, let's say, but could you see that he's such a great coach and he could lead the top teams at the time?
Yeah. I think Kenny always been a great coach. I think he's always, he's great at player development. But I think now he has the talent, he has the players to, show his coaching ability. Yeah, I mean, I love Kenny. He gave me a chance. He gave me an opportunity. He drafted me, so there's never any bad words for him. But yeah, I'm happy that he's doing well in Cleveland.
Okay, thank you very much.